Hey everybody, welcome back to Dinner and a Tip. My name is Brenda. I'm going to be your cooking guide. I should say welcome to Nailed It or Failed It. We are going to try something new, something exciting. Valentine's Day is coming right around the corner, so I want to go ahead and try something new. I've seen it many times, but I've never actually tried it. So we're going to actually take this pineapple and we are going to cut it down, and then we're going to fill it with teriyaki chicken, some coconut pineapple rice. Super excited. If you make this, you're gonna get some serious points from whoever you're with. So normally I kind of prep everything, but today I'm gonna kind of slow it down a little bit and go ahead and we're gonna do it a little slower for people that don't necessarily have a lot of cooking experience. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our chicken. So I do chicken thighs. So this like fatty part, this is what we want to go ahead and get rid of. This isn't the best part of the chicken. So we're going to go ahead and just cube this. And when I say cube, you're just going to go and cut it in little chunks. So, and these are going to be bite size. This way we'll get a little bit better crunch on it. So just little piece sizes like this. So this one that we're doing, this is going to be about $20 to make the whole thing from scratch. We're going to do a homemade teriyaki with this one. We're going to do some coconut rice. I do have a little cheat that we're doing on the rice, but that's all right. You can make your coconut rice from scratch, but I just went ahead and pre-bought some chicken. Pre-bought some rice. So these cuts don't need to be exact. They don't need to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting these. Again, when you see this little fat part, this is what we want to cut off our chicken. So if you have gloves, it's kind of nicer to work with. Your hands don't get so slimy. So we're going to keep cutting these. And then we're going to come back in a minute, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you, now that you kind of got a start of how we are doing this. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause this real quick. All right, so we are back with our chicken, and now that we are done with this, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of our chopping board because we do not want to chop anything else on that. So for our chicken, we're going to just do a couple tablespoons of cornstarch. This is what helps get a nice crunch on our chicken. So just probably like 1 or 2 tablespoons. You don't want it, completely coated, but you definitely want it getting on each piece. So just go ahead, kind of massage the cornstarch in. And then let's work on our pineapple. So I think this is more my nailed it or failed it part. If I can nail the pineapple, then we're going to be doing great. So, for somebody who cooks a lot, I do not have the best knife. That is like on my to-do list. So we're going to go ahead and cut the pineapple this way and try to get it down the center as much as possible. Okay, so we're going to cut the meaty part first, and then we're going to go ahead and cut through the stem. And if for some reason you don't nail this part, you can still finish this recipe. See, not the easiest. All right, I think we're just about there. All right, so not the easiest, but I'm guessing if you had some really nice knives, this would be a little bit easier. So now with the pineapple, we're gonna save the good pieces on the side. This middle part is really hard and it's not super great to eat. So we are gonna go ahead and cut that out. Just be careful not to lose your digits. Stitches for Valentine's Day and being bloody, not exactly your best option. So let's go ahead and daintily cut this out. Not really. So my advice to you is, if you were cooking this meal, is to go ahead and kind of prep this stuff ahead of time. So we're going to go ahead, and then what we're going to do once this is done, we're going to kind of grill the rest of this pineapple. And then we're going to put our teriyaki chicken and our rice in here, and it's going to be very festive, very awesome presentation. So, and if you're not cooking with gloves, please wash your hands in between this process. So we're gonna go ahead and get our pineapple done. Guessing we can take a fork, kind of just scrape out the insides of this. Easier said than done. So, but as long as you finish at the end is all it. Well, that seems inappropriate for. Well, maybe that's appropriate for Valentine's. Never mind. Sorry, distracted. So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and scoop this out. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other pineapple later, but for purposes today, let's just do this. And like I said, I would definitely do this ahead of time. Take that juice, and then we're just gonna place our pineapple down. I'm gonna put this on low, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut up this rest of this pineapple. I just want small bite-sized, like very small bite-sized pieces. For this, I want to go ahead and cook this up, and I'm going to put it in the rice. And if you've never had pineapple and rice together, you're actually missing out. It's actually really good. But if you really don't like pineapple, then go ahead, skip it. But for this part, we're going to go ahead. All right. I'm going to take that pineapple, because pineapple does not take very long to cook, and we're going to save that. Next up, let's prep our green onions. This is more of a garnishment. So when I say green onions, this is what I'm talking about. You want to go ahead, it's got a root on the bottom, so we're going to cut the root off. And then I'm just going to do really, really thin chops on this one. And I'm actually going to put this in the teriyaki seasoning that we're doing. And then for the top, we're gonna do this green part is gonna be for the garnish. So you just wanna pick where it's a little firmer. And then we're gonna do angle cuts on this. The angle cuts don't change the taste, but it actually looks really pretty when you're trying to fancy up your meal. So, all right, that is done. So let's go ahead and start working on our chicken. So I'm just doing avocado oil, which is my favorite to use, and it is hot. So let's go ahead, throw our chicken down. And what I want to do is kind of spread out the chicken, kind of get it coated with the oil first. All right, let's go ahead and get that spread out. And then next, let's work on our teriyaki sauce. You certainly could buy teriyaki sauce, but this is so easy. And if you do a fair amount of cooking of Asian cuisine, you're going to have pretty much all of this stuff already at your disposal. So let's go ahead and start with 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Maybe a little extra if you like. The hoisin, or I believe that's how they say it. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of that. And then I'm going to do 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Now with the brown sugar, this one you could do light or dark, doesn't really matter. Next up, let's do a little bit of rice vinegar. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of this. Now this, if you don't have the specific rice one, you can certainly just use regular vinegar. And now we're going to do 2 tablespoons of honey. Very slow process here. Get that out, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of sesame seed oil is all we need to do. So for this one, I'm actually going to do fresh garlic and ginger. You can do minced garlic or ginger paste for this one. So with your garlic, you're going to want to just take the peel off of it. So the best way to get that out is just take a knife, run it down the side, peel off the skin, And this does pop off fairly easily, but you want to make sure that skin comes off. The garlic's going to be nice and smooth then, and you don't want the skin in your food. So, all right. And I'm just going to go ahead and grate this in here. And then just make sure you're going to get it from the other side. So, all right, so see how we've got all of that. So just go ahead, scoop that in there. Let's go turn our chicken real quick. And if you're newer to cooking and you don't have a lot of math skills, go ahead and do this sauce ahead of time, and then it's a little easier, a little less stress. So this is fresh ginger, and for me, you can either cut it, or I just like to take a peeler, carrot peeler, and then just peel this off. And then again, we're just going to go ahead and grate this. You can do the ginger paste, which I actually really love, but sometimes I just want to switch it up. And then we're just going to go ahead and grate this in. It's probably about not quite a whole tablespoon of ginger. If you really like ginger, add more. If not, add less. Okay. Let's go ahead and give this a quick mix. And what we're going to want to do is put this sauce on the hottest part of our grill so we can go ahead and get this cooking up faster. We're just looking to get a nice light boil on it, and then we're going to go ahead and add some of our cornstarch and water. And then I'm going to take these green onions, and I'm just going to throw the green onions in here just for a little extra flavor. Let's go ahead and check on our chicken. When these are chicken pieces, they definitely cook a lot faster. And because of the cornstarch, you're going to get a little bit more of a crunch on the chicken than you normally would. And that's why I always use the cornstarch. And I didn't really season this chicken for the simple fact that I'm going to be doing it with this sauce. Let's check our pineapple. It's nice and steamed. You got a nice little color on that. So let's work on our teriyaki sauce. What I like about this teriyaki sauce versus just buying some, I feel it's a lot thicker. It coats everything a little bit better. So go ahead and move some of our stuff off to the side. And make some room. So next, while that's cooking, I'm going to do, this is jasmine rice. It's coconut. I think it actually adds a lot of flavor. I've used it quite a few different times. So let's go ahead and work on our cornstarch. So for this one, we're just going to do about 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. We're going to just hit that with water. So if you're newer to cooking, you know that you don't know if you go ahead and just put this straight in there, it's going to get really clumpy and you're not going to get those clumps out. So let's go ahead and mix that in there. And give that a quick mix. So the sauce is already starting to thicken up. You want to have the sauce thick before you go ahead and add your chicken. All of that ginger and the fresh garlic, which I'm super excited for. All right, our chicken is just about done. And the chicken, you want to just make sure, like especially some of these bigger pieces, cut it open, make sure there's nothing pink inside. Nothing will take the romance out of Valentine's, like food poisoning. So in my case, I always like to cook it just a little bit longer, but definitely check the big pieces. And so our chicken is just about done. So I'm going to go ahead and start our rice. So, and the sauce, because of that cornstarch we put in, is starting to thicken up, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So our coconut rice, I'm just going to throw a little bit of oil. This is already cooked rice, so we're not going to have to do anything other than heat it up. I'm going to go ahead and throw our pineapple down, and then our rice. Because I had started with raw chicken with these, I'm gonna keep these for the chicken, and then just gonna add the rice. And I'm gonna go ahead and switch to a different set of spatulas. So I'm gonna also toast a little coconut as well. This is completely optional. I don't love coconut a ton, but actually I don't mind it when it's with this rice. Woo! I don't know if you've seen that, but apparently when you put rice on the Blackstone, it will pop. So we're gonna just do a light toast on this. And we're gonna go ahead and take our pineapple off. All right, now that our chicken, I have definitely checked it. We are good to go. We got nothing pink in here. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw this in our sauce and get that nice and coated. So you are definitely going to impress whoever you are cooking for this time with this. Not only does it look pretty, it tastes amazing. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead. I'm going to be doing a couple different Valentine's dishes this week and desserts. So we're going to be trying all sorts of different fun stuff. So, okay, our coconut is toasted, and I'm just looking for just like a little light brown color on that. And we've got our pineapple is all cooked and warm and awesome. All right. So for serving this one, I'm just going to go ahead and put it on a clean board. I'm going to go ahead and take, this is our clean spatula. I'm going to go ahead and just do half our teriyaki chicken on one side. And then we're going to go ahead and take our coconut rice, slide that in there. All right, you might want to start with a clean board after this, but all right, let's get everything shut off. And then we're going to go ahead and take those green onions that we talked about. We're just going to go ahead and put a couple on the top. So start with your clean board, but let's go ahead and zoom in on how pretty this is going to look. You are definitely going to impress whoever you are cooking this for. This would actually be like great for like pool parties. You could pretty much use this for anything, but let's see if we nailed it, all right? Yay, we nailed it. I'm so excited. Definitely make this anytime. Stick with us. Subscribe. I'm going to show you some awesome desserts to go with Valentine's dinner that we've got coming up. See you soon.